Hi, welcome to Harris Motorsport Reviews. I'm your host Jordan, and today I have a Ford Fiesta ST-Line. Today I'm going to give it a review, take it out on the road, go through all its unique quirks and features, and then at the end give it a score out of 100. For more of my thoughts on the Ford Fiesta ST-Line, please click the link below where I have a full review. I rented this Ford Fiesta ST-Line from Enterprise in Northampton. Click on the link below to go to their website. I'm going to start up front with the styling. As we can see, it's got an aggressive body style to make it look like the bigger brother, the ST. Ford has this really nice design alloy wheels, keeping in tune with its sporty exterior. The previous generation ST was sold in the US, but this model isn't, and there's only one reason for that. It's because of this light moves with the bodywork, as we can see. With a lot of Fords these days, you open it up and you don't have to twist the fuel pump to put it in. You just literally put the pump in, fill up, and you're good to go. Inside the Ford Focus ST-Line, we find a sporty looking interior that's comfortable and roomy. We've got a glove box here like in most cars, and there's also a hidden glove compartment down here as well. This button here is actually lane assist, so when you're driving down the highway and for whatever reason you might be tired, you go slightly to the right, it will actually fight back and pull back to keep you in the lane. You can turn it off and on if you so wish. Fiesta ST-Lines come with the stitching here. They got the same stitching on both front seats and on the rear seats. To access the hood release, you pull this lever here towards you. It's on the passenger side on the front. There's a hidden little storage compartment down here, which is right by the driver's wheel. It's not that big, but it's enough to store coins. As with a lot of modern cars, you can move the mirrors by pressing this button and it will move for you. You can do the exact same on the other side. As with a lot of modern cars these days, it no longer has a CD player, but you can always Bluetooth your phone to the infotainment system and listen to your music that way. It also has Apple CarPlay. For a car of this segment, it's pretty unusual to actually have cruise control, so that's a really nice feature, especially for motorway driving. To set it, you just push it down and that's it, you can go. If you place the key down here, it will actually wirelessly charge the key, so it won't run out of battery. This particular car doesn't come with a backup camera, it does come with parking sensors. Backup cameras are an optional extra. Optional extra is Bang & Olufsen speakers. This particular model does not have them. Also features child seat hooks. They are located under here, and on the other side as well. Sportiness of the exterior follows through on the inside with this pretend carbon fibre plastic. The infotainment system has a day mode, night mode. It's automatic at the moment, which means it's in this colour during the day, but if I wanted it to be at night, I could press that button and it will change to this darker setting. I particularly like the sporty shifter. Even though it goes up to 6 gears, you would probably only reach top speed in 5th gear. The 6th gear is only really for the fuel efficiency when you're on the highway. It's got a pretty powerful air conditioning unit which will really warm the car up on a cold day very, very quickly, or alternatively on a hot day, cool the car down. A little storage compartment up here, which is big enough to store your sunglasses in. The in-car mirror also comes with a light. Rear passengers also benefit from illumination. Whilst the Ford Focus ST-Line doesn't have the biggest back space, it is perfectly comfortable enough for 2 adults. I wouldn't really recommend having anybody in the middle seat though. It might get a little bit cramped. And now it's time to take it out on the road and see what it's like to drive. Now it's to see what it's like to drive. Gear shifts are smooth, as you'd expect for a brand new car. Downshifts are pretty good as well. It's by no means fast, but for a car this size, it's quick enough. I mean, it's fast enough to get you out of trouble, and I guess that's the main thing. Unlike what the exterior suggests, it's really not a sporty car at all. If you really want the performance, the bigger brother, the ST, is the one to get. I think this car 0 to 60 is 9 seconds, and top speed's maybe pushing at 120. It's absolutely fine for the motorway, it's comfortable enough. I've had friends of mine who's driven one of these say the opposite. They said it wasn't that comfortable on the motorway, but in my opinion, it's perfectly comfortable on the motorway. This particular model doesn't have sat-nav, but there are other options that do have sat-nav. For those of you that don't want to use it, you can always use Apple CarPlay. And now it's time to give it a score, and on to the weekend categories. We start off with acceleration, which I've scored as a 1. At 10 seconds to 60, it's nowhere near as quick as the ST, which does it in 6.5 seconds. 10 seconds doesn't seem that bad, but I'm trying to keep my score standardized, and on that scale, it's going to score as a 1. In terms of handling, I've actually scored it a 5. And the reason for that is it's not as fun as the ST. The ST has a differential, which makes it a hell of a lot more fun when driving, and the handling is improved for that reason. This ST-Line does not have such a feature. For importance, I've scored it a 4. It's not particularly important to the automotive world, but to Ford it has been around for 43 years, so it does have some kind of importance. But to everybody else, it's just another Ford Fiesta. For fun, I've scored it a 6. It ties very much into handling. It does well in the handling section, but when you add in the fact that it really likes to rev, it really is a fun vehicle to drive. For styling, I've given it a 6, and now for the reason for that is, in the Fiesta line, it really is the best looking of the bunch. It's almost as good looking as the ST, but it's not an ST, so in the standard line, it really is the best looking. And now on to the daily categories. For practicality, I've scored it a 7, with 4 doors, 50 miles to the gallon, almost 300 litres of boot space, and 1,000 litres of cargo space if you put the rear seats down. You can see why. Comfort scores a 5. It's one of the areas it probably outperforms its bigger brother, the ST. It's perfectly acceptable when driving around town, but if you're going to be on long motorway journeys, it may not be the most practical and comfortable car for yourself. For features, it scores a 5. It has most of the modern tech, but some of the real exceptional stuff that you find in more high-end cars it does not have. Also, the fact that a backup camera does not come as standard is a real shame. I think that all cars should actually come up with a backup camera as a standard feature just for safety alone. For quality, it scores a 6. Ford are known for their reliability, and the materials in the vehicle itself actually feel nice to touch, especially that gear shifter. I think that's a really nice touch on the vehicle itself. For value, I've scored it a 6. That was a tough one to call when you think that the ST is only a couple of £100 more expensive, but when the vehicle first came out, they were actually selling beyond sticker price. So for that reason, I have scored it a 6. Also, they have been retaining their value rather well. When you add it all up, it comes to a total score of 51 out of 100. As it's the first car I've ever reviewed, it's going to be the benchmark. So there you have it, the 2018 Ford Fiesta ST-Line with the ecoboost engine.